What's up traders, Sasha, Second Skies Trading, and it's the end of the week again, and you know what that means? It's time for another top trade review in which we once a week review trades taken by our students. And this week we are going to review a trade by Kurt, a newer member of ours, and he's already starting to put out some really great trades, one of which we are going to review today, which is a short on the dollar CAD using a trend trading strategy. So if you want to see how we teach our traders to trade and to make money trading, stay tuned, because in today's video we are going to break down his trade from beginning to end. We're going to look at the price action context, entry, stop loss, take profit, and potential improvement ideas on how to improve the performance on similar trades going forward. Also make sure to watch the entire video, as we do have 2 free gifts for you, but more on that towards the end of the video. Now before we dive into the charts, let's have a quick look at the trade details here. So he traded the dollar CAD. He did enter the trade at 134.09. His stop loss was at 134.85. Take profit price at 132.23, and the holding time in total was 9 trading days. And on this trade here he made 2.45 R, and to put that into perspective, if he risked $1,000 on this trade, he would have walked away with $2,450. If he risked $100, he would have walked away with $245. So really nice return for a trade like this, in my opinion. And now that we've covered the trade details, let's head over to TradingView and the charts, which you all been waiting for. And if you're not familiar with TradingView yet and would like to give it a try, you can check out our free tutorial on this by clicking here. Now on the charts here, you can see that I have 4 different time frames. I have the weekly time frame, the daily time frame, the 4-hour time frame, and the 1-hour time frame. And you can see I've already marked Kurt's trade here. You have his entry, his stop loss, and his take profit. You can see the risk to reward ratio is 2.45, and the return here 186 pips. So everything's matching with the trade details here from Kurt. Now let's start out with the long-term context. So let's head over to the weekly chart here. So what stands out here is this resistance in 2019 that then got impulsively broken in the beginning of this year. And the strong rally this year in February, March was then followed by a corrective structure, but failed. Once the support got broken, we saw impulsive selling back to the broken resistance, now acting as support, indicating that the market still is interested in this support and resistance zone. And then in August, price broke below this support and resistance zone again. And since this zone had held as both resistance and support, we could expect it to hold as resistance again. And there you can see this already forms the basis for Kurt's trade here, as this is where he attacked the market. And you have multiple things in confluence for a short trade here after the break back below the support and resistance zone. Number 1 is that you have this key support and resistance zone that has acted both as resistance and support. Number 2 is that you have a long-term bearish trend in place. So after the corrective structure failed here earlier this year, after the impulsive run up, a bearish trend formed, and you can clearly see the lower highs and lower lows and this clear bearish swing structure in place. So number 2, you do have a clear bearish trend in place. And number 3 is that price also pulls back to the 20 exponential moving average, which oftentimes can act as a dynamic support and resistance. And the 20 EMA actually is in confluence with this support and resistance zone. So you do have 3 confluences here in favor of a short trade, where Kurt decided to attack this pair. Now going down to the 4-hour chart, you will notice that we did have higher lows and higher highs forming prior to Kurt's entry here. So short term, the price action was bullish. And you can also see that the rejections from this area of resistance got weaker and weaker. So a potential pre-breakout setup. But since the higher time frame context is bearish and you have multiple confluence points pointing towards a good short on this pair, the more favorable direction to trade in is bearish, because the higher time frame context will override the lower time frame context. And this is exactly what you can see that happened here. So Kurt decided to attack this higher time frame support and resistance zone, but using the lower time frame to optimize his entry. And there he could see this very clear short-term resistance forming. So there's a nice agreement on price here. And so he went short exactly where he saw the rejections coming in, and price hit his entry and then immediately turned around, went into his favor and hit his take profit. Looking at why he placed his stop loss where he did, you can see that he went above the highs over to the left here from August. So he had a very conservative stop on this one, in my opinion. He also wrote that he had a deeper entry waiting. So he was planning to attack this trade with 2 orders. So he had one where he got in that got triggered, and then he had another one that was higher up which didn't get triggered because price never made it there. And this is something we will talk about in the upcoming trade improvement suggestions. But overall, I think his entry was really spot on. His read on the high time frame was very good here, and he also chose a solid target, in my opinion, at the next support and resistance area here. So he went for the highest probability target location because that was the closest support coming in, which was a previous resistance, which he now expected could act as a support. So that is where he decided to exit this trade. Overall, I think really well played, very well done reading the high time frame price action context and the different confluences in favor of a short trade here by Kurt. Very good entry, conservative stop loss, high probability take profit. So all in all, in my opinion, a really solid trade here by Kurt. Now, in terms of potential trade improvements, I can only speak for this trade here because Kurt didn't provide the details for his other position that didn't get triggered. So we'll just focus on this trade here. So first out, let's have a look at his take profit here. So going back to the weekly, if we do have this bearish trend in play, and if we think that this key support and resistance zone will hold, then it's very likely that price will at the minimum revisit the last swing low made in this trend. So that means there's a lot more profit potential on the table here that Kurt missed out on by having his take profit in the middle of this trend swing structure. So with all the confluences being in place here, you have this key support and resistance holding as resistance, you have this very clear downtrend, you have the dynamic resistance, the 20 EMA also acting as resistance, then we can at least expect a revisit of the last swing low made in this trend before price potentially reverses again. So just by extending his target down to this last swing point in this bear trend, he would have increased his profit potential from 2.45 to 4.5, which is a 2R improvement only by adjusting the take profit on this trade. The next improvement, in my opinion, would be to tighten his stop loss. If he has planned to enter with 2 trades, then he can play them separately and attack both of these areas here in isolation, meaning that he can have a much tighter stop on this trade here, then have a second limit order in place, also with a tighter stop loss here. So in terms of this stop loss, looking at the 1 hour chart here, I would have said it's fine to just go with a stop loss above these highs and with some buffer to the upside here. And you can see by adjusting his take profit and adjusting his stop loss, he would have been able to increase his profit potential on this trade from 2.45 almost up to 10R, which is a massive improvement. And now you're saying, okay, but what if price spikes above here? Well, then you have multiple options available. Number one is, of course, having a second limit order in place to get into the market. If price pushes above here, stops out this position, then you can enter second position with a tight stop loss, also great take profit here on the second position and still make a really good profit. And there, of course, is the risk of a potential false break in this area, meaning that, let's say, if price breaks above here and produces a false break in this area, so it trades above here and then trades back below, then he can still attack the same area again with a fairly tight stop loss. And if he makes 6, 7, 8R on this trade and had 1 loss prior to that, he would still walk away with a massive net profit on 2 trades here using to attack the same area. So there are multiple ways he could have, in my opinion, played this with both a bigger target and a tighter stop loss. But we have to take into consideration that Kurt is a new member of ours, and based on the time he has been with us so far, this is a really amazing read on the higher time frame context and a fantastic trade. So I think Kurt did really well here, and if he continues to study our material and learn our methods and get more chart time under his belt, I feel very confident that he will be able to massively improve the way he attacks a price action context like this in the future. So I'm really looking forward to see his progress and the trades he will be sharing with us in the future. Congratulations to Kurt for making it to the top trade review. And this brings us to the end of today's top trade review video. If you liked the video, please give us a thumbs up. Also make sure to subscribe to our channel to get notified once we release new content every week. And as promised earlier in the video, we do have 2 free gifts for you. One is a free ebook on price action trading. The other one is a free ebook on day trading. And if you do want to get access to those 2 free ebooks, just head over to our website at secondskiesforex.com. Once you're there, just scroll lower here on the first page and you have here the intro to trading course. It's It's completely free and you get access to 2 free ebooks, one on price action, one on day trading, along with free video lessons on how to trade price action and on stock trading as well. And on our website in general, you will also find a lot of free trading articles on multiple subjects, trading psychology, trading, risk management, along with free trading tools that can help you to improve your trading. And with that being said, we look forward to your comments and questions. Make sure to post them below the video. We'll be back with another top trade review next week. And until then, be well, stay positive, and good luck trading.